Good morning, students. We started the second chapter of biology, control and coordination, and so far we have studied about the structure of a neuron, reflex action and reflex arc. Today we begin the second part, the central nervous system of the human body. Okay. Now the brain along with the spinal cord constitutes the central nervous system, and today we'll study the structural and functional details of the human brain. Okay. Now the brain is the main switching unit of the central nervous system. Alright. It is the place to which impulses flow and from which impulses originate. And the spinal cord provides the link between the brain and the rest of the body. Alright. Now, the brain is also responsible for many of the qualities that make each individual unique. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions, talents, memories, and the ability to process information, all these are controlled by the brain. And so the brain is dedicated to running the body. It is responsible for maintaining, controlling, and integrating the various systems that make up the body. Now let us discuss some general things about human brain. Okay. So an adult human brain weighs around 1 kilogram to 1.5 kilogram. This is the average weight. It may vary from person to person. The brain is composed of neurons, and so as we discussed earlier, neurons are the basic structural and functional unit of the nervous system. And we say that the human brain is a bundle of neurons, and it may contain between 86 billion to 100 billion neurons. All these neurons are folded inside the brain, okay, to make use of the available space. Now, the brain is a very delicate organ of our body, and it has to be protected. And this is protected by a bony box, inside a bony box called cranium or skull. Okay, that the box inside which the brain is enclosed. Okay. Now, and the brain is wrapped in 3 layers of connective tissue known as the meninges. So these are the 3 layers, 1, 2 and 3. So outside is the cranium, the skull, brain box. After that are the 3 layers, the 3 meninges, and then is located the human brain. So what is the function of these? Now the 3 meninges are filled inside with a fluid known as the cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, and the cerebrospinal fluid protects the brain. It gives it an extra layer for absorbing shocks. Okay, and the skull, the bony box also acts like a shock absorber. It protects the brain from mechanical injury. The cerebrospinal fluid is a clear liquid which will give it extra cushioning. Okay. Now, haven't you heard of meningitis? Commonly called brain fever. It is the disease where the meninges get infected. Okay. Now, this can be very, very dangerous because if the oxygen supply to the brain is cut off, you see, in order for the brain to perform its function, it must have a constant supply of food and oxygen. And if the oxygen supply to the brain is cut off, even for a few minutes, the brain will usually suffer from enormous damage. Such a damage may result in death also. Okay. Now, let us study the different parts of human brain. So, the human brain is divided into 3 parts. The forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. The forebrain is the main thinking part of the brain, and it has 3 subparts: the cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Now, the cerebrum takes up most of the space of the brain. It is the biggest part of the brain, and it is this part of the brain which is responsible for most of the thinking and reasoning activities. Okay, the cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. It is like this. This is the right hemisphere and this is the left hemisphere. The two are connected. Alright, now these two hemispheres have different roles to play. Okay, the left hemisphere is responsible for all the logical thinking. Okay, and the right hemisphere is responsible for creativity and artistic ability. Okay, so for people like mathematicians, for scientists and for analysts, the left hemisphere is quite developed. All those who have analytical and mathematical abilities, they have a very well developed left hemisphere. Whereas the right hemisphere is well developed in creative people, the music directors, the art directors, the actors, actresses, the painters, the writers, and the dancers, the choreographers, and so on. Okay, these are the two hemispheres of the cerebrum. Now the functions of the cerebrum is responsible for thinking, reasoning, intelligence, speech, problem solving attitude, visual and auditory perception, and also for memory. Okay, so most of the thinking and memory based centers are located in the cerebrum part. Okay, the largest part of the brain. The hypothalamus of the forebrain is responsible for hunger, thirst, fatigue, anger, and maintaining body temperature. Okay, these are the functions of the forebrain. Now, let us come to the midbrain. The midbrain connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. Okay, and it acts like a bridge. Okay, and it controls all the motor activities, the movement based activities. It has centers for vision, hearing, and temperature control, also alertness. Okay, now the hindbrain. Hind means the back part. Okay, the hindbrain is the control center for visceral functions. Visceral means the internal organs. Again, hindbrain has three parts: the medulla oblongata, pons, and the cerebellum. The medulla controls blood pressure, heart rate, breathing, digestion, swallowing, and coughing, and all these are involuntary activities which are not in our control. Okay, the cerebellum coordinates movements, postures, and balance of body. That means this cerebellum is responsible for the controlling and coordinating the muscle movements. Okay, for precise body movements, cerebellum is responsible. The pons means bridge. So it acts like a bridge and relays information between the brain and spinal cord, and also between the hindbrain and the other parts of the brain. Okay, now you should practice drawing the diagram from the NCERT book and also learn the different parts of the brain and the functions of these parts. Okay.